there, fellow Star Wars nerds, and welcome to Unlimited Content, the podcast where two brothers talk about all of Star Wars TV and film in chronological order on the internet as an excuse to hang out more. We are your hosts, Sam and Jack, and this week we're talking about The Clone Wars Season 1, Episode 1, Ambush. Jack Ford,
Ambush.
How are you?
Jack Ford. I'm good. I got a haircut today.
It looks good.
I'm feeling fresh. It was definitely needed because it's been in the triple digits here in Texas for a few weeks now, and my hair was getting long and frizzy, and I was like, I just need something good. I love the whenever I get a haircut and they use the water spray bottle. It's very refreshing. It's like, yes,
yeah,
it's nice and relaxing.
Do you just do like a classic like Great Clips kind of thing, or do you like do anything more than that?
I typically just go to Great Clips and just are like, hey, clean it up.
Yeah.
It's too long.
Nice.
Because I feel like I'm not articulate enough about how I look and about hair styling to be able to say anything more than like keep my bangs longish and make it look not bad.
You look great.
So thank you.
You've had the same haircut for like forever, and it always looks great. Like it's very you, and it works.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it works too. But yeah, that's what I've been up to today. What about you? How are you, Sam?
I'm well. I'm still thinking of a haircut. Whenever I get my haircut, I usually go to Sports Clips because I like to pamper myself a little bit, because I do like they call it the MVP, where like they'll shampoo out your hair and like, because I don't like having to like go, because I usually do like clippers of some kind, like on the sides. I usually do kind of like the high and tight with like the long on the top. Like I style the top and do that kind of thing. But I don't like having, and my hair is really thick, and so there's a lot of hair. And I don't like feeling all the little clippies in the buzzer on like in my shirt and whatnot. And so if I get it shampooed at the place, I don't have to go home and take a shower and like ditch the shirt after my haircut and stuff. And
smart.
Yeah, so that's what I do. It's a little more expensive. But in the meantime, we do have clippers that Sarah will just like do my sides just kind of between haircuts. So I usually only get a haircut like once every like 3 or 4 months, like professionally. Yeah. But like once a month, Sarah will do a little trimmy trim.
Yeah, I get a haircut maybe once every couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have also been to there's a little chain down here in Austin called Bird's Barbershop.
Ooh.
Which is it's a little bit fancier, a little bit nicer. They've got like I think they have like free cold beer for you to drink while you're waiting for your haircut, that kind of thing.
That's so nice.
I don't partake in because I don't drink, but it's cool in theory.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I would partake if given the opportunity.
Yeah.
But we don't have any cool. We'll probably have cool barbershops up here in Kansas City. I'm just not aware of them. If anybody living in Kansas City knows of cool barbershops that like a white dude could go to, which is key, let me know.
If you didn't know, we're white. You weren't aware.
Yeah. If our photos on the thing and the fact that we have a podcast talking about Star Wars didn't give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're pretty darn white.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all right. Well, before we go any further into the podcast today, we have a sponsor today. And for once, this is actually not this is a real sponsor. It's a real thing.
Real thing. Definitely real money is being exchanged for sure, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Not fake money. Not just.
We got paid 80 trillion smackaroonies.
Yeah, we got Shroot bucks. We got for this.
Shroot bucks, Monopoly money.
Yep.
Credits will do fine.
Credits will do fine.
Yeah. This episode of Unlimited Content is brought to you by What Makes It Great, the podcast journey of two brothers, not us, but close, as they work through the American Film Institute's top 100 movies of all time in chronological order. Join our cousins, Michael and Andy, as they teach themselves the historical context, innovative filmmaking techniques, and more. Join Michael and Andy as they learn what makes it great, and thanks again to Michael and Andy for definitely paying big bucks to sponsor this episode of Unlimited Content.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely go check out their podcast. It's on what platforms is it on? Do you know?
Spotify for sure.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, probably other ones because they're tech savvy dudes. But yeah, probably also those other ones. I don't know, but definitely Spotify. Yep. As I was writing up the little ad copy for this, I realized that their podcast, which has existed for like 3 years longer than ours, has basically the same premise as ours, except it's like movies other than Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the idea first, and we were like, we should do. Well, to be fair, I'm sure the idea of brothers talking about pop culture in podcast format is not a new premise.
Oh, come on.
Like,
we're definitely the second ones to ever think of it. Michael and Andy are the first.
No, I'll take second place.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, Michael got married recently, so congratulations, Michael.
Look at you. All the things. Very happy for you.
All right.
Yeah. And also, in theory, Andy's going to be on the podcast next week. In theory.
Yes.
We need to confirm with him. But he did say that the upcoming arc that we're going to be talking about in the Clone Wars is his favorite, and he wanted to join us on the podcast for that. So, Andy, by the time this releases, we'll have already recorded. But hopefully we get to talk to you next week.
Yes. If not next week, at some point, definitely we want to have Andy on the show. And Michael, too, if he's interested, definitely. Talk to Michael about it.
Yeah. I talked with Michael this afternoon about wanting to be on their podcast. So whenever, because A New Hope is on the American Film Institute top 100 movies of all time. It is number 13 on their list. And he said whenever they get to it, they'd be happy to have us on the podcast, their podcast. And I told him that whenever we get to A New Hope, we'll have them on our podcast. So, but for us, it's not going to be until January 2025. But for them,
we keep up with this.
But for them, it's whenever they get around to like recording more episodes, because they haven't recorded anything in like 2 years. But they said they wanted to get back at it, and I was like, well, we're talking about it now, and you're sponsoring it, so I guess you're doing it again.
Yeah,
you have to now. There's no backing out.
Too bad.
Too bad. We're forcing you to do
yourself into a corner.
Haha. You fool. You fool.
All right.
Honestly, really, it's all our cousin Allie's fault, because she like posted about it on her Instagram story and tagged Michael and Andy in it, and then they shared it on their story as well. And I was like, oh yeah, that exists, and Star Wars is in there, so we're doing this. And so really, it's Allie's fault. Thanks, Allie.
Thanks, Allie.
Our other cousin.
Yep, they're great. All right, well, before we get into our main segment today, we got to do our other spiels, our other things.
Oh, yeah.
Sam, what have you been up to this past week? Anything interesting that you've been watching, reading, playing, listening to? Anything cool you learned? Any places you visited? Foods you tried? Colognes you sampled?
Oh, man. What have I been doing? Well, this last week I was on a work trip, so I didn't really have a lot of time to watch or do anything. But I'll share a story of what happened on the work trip that doesn't give away what the work is. It has nothing to do with the work, but it was nuts. So, Jack, are you familiar with what a derecho is?
I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
So a derecho is a weather phenomenon, which is basically a straight line hurricane.
Huh.
So a derecho is like when it'll be like a thunderstorm will just kind of crop up out of nowhere, and it'll produce like 80-mile-an-hour straight line winds, torrential rain, hail, all that stuff, and then just move in like one big wave line in like one direction at the speed of the wind. So I got caught in a derecho while I was at my trip this week.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So this trip I was at. So I've mentioned on here that I do youth ministry in the church in some capacity. So I was taking my youth group to this summer camp, and a derecho hit like while we were getting ready for breakfast on Thursday while we were at this summer camp, and it was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were all like. So ordinarily, the routine for the camp that week was that I would wake up at 7 and get myself ready, and then at 7:30 I wake up all my campers and send them off to breakfast by 8. A message went out on the chaperone group text that a huge storm was coming in any minute, and that we should get our kids up as fast as possible and send them over to breakfast immediately, or else they get caught out in the storm. So we managed to get all the boys up, except for one, on time, and sent him out all the
Tim.
way. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Tim. It's definitely not his name, but whatever. So we got all the boys up except one, and then none of the girls up on time. Well, none of my group's girls. So like we had half of camp's girls and one of camp's boys and like 7 chaperones all kind of stuck in the ground floor of the dorm while everyone else made it off to breakfast. But we almost made, me and the one boy and like one other male chaperone almost made it out. We like got on like this like 4-wheeler like golf cart gator kind of thing, like this. It's like an off-road golf cart. We hopped on it just as it looked like the storm was about to hit, and the guy his name is actually Tim, the other chaperone, he floored it as we all hopped on, and then the storm hit just as we like got on start for it. So he just looped back around to the dorm, and we all just jumped out and went down to the basement of the dorm because it hit like as we were outside, and it was gnarly. So we were down there for like an hour. It took about 30 minutes to pass, 20 to 30 minutes, but then like with lightning protocol, we had to stay inside anyway. Just think, I don't know if they're like technically accredited by the American Camp Association, but they follow their rules on weather and stuff. Sure. And so like the rule is that if lightning strikes within 10 miles of where you are, you can't have any outdoor activities until 15 minutes past the last lightning strike within 10 miles.
Okay.
And so we were stuck inside for a while. But everyone was safe and happy and fine. There was a little bit of property damage and a lot of trees got knocked down. But we were safe. So that's what I did this week, was I survived a derecho with a bunch of middle schoolers.
Cool.
So that was fun.
How many children got whisked away by the wind into the storm?
Only one, but we don't want to talk about him.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No one did. It was fine. Yeah, everyone was safe.
Cool.
But it was exciting.
Wow. What an adventure.
What an adventure. Yes, that's all I really did this last week, was survive severe weather in northwest Missouri. As one does.
As one does?
As one does.
What else is there to do in northwest Missouri?
Literally nothing.
Survive a derecho.
Literally nothing else to do. It's just like, don't get sucked into a tornado.
Cool.
That's Missouri.
Yay. Yay.
Jack, what have you been up to?
Well, I would like to share with you my latest gaming obsession.
Yeah, you put this into the show notes, and I was like, what the heck is this? That's not what I said, but I won't repeat what I said. For if there are any children listening to this podcast, I won't repeat what I said.
Yes. Yeah. He said Carabast.
That's exactly what I said.
What a naughty boy. Yeah. So right now is the Steam summer sale, which is their like they have a few big sales each year, but like the biggest sale is usually the summer sale. So Steam is it's like an online marketplace where you can buy video games, downloadable video games, and so. One thing that's been on my wish list for a while that was on sale, I grabbed, and it is called Powerwash Simulator.
What?
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a video game that you play in first person where the goal is to clean things with a power washer. So just like if you've seen online, there are like, videos that are just like, oh, look at this oddly satisfying, like somebody power washed this driveway. It's like super dirty, and they power washed it and all the dirt goes away, and it's super satisfying to watch.
I've watched more of those videos than I'm proud to admit.
Be proud of your fandom of power washers.
Yeah. There's showing my dad card here, but there's definitely like, I definitely watch more like power washing and like lawn care, like people like doing like there are these guys on YouTube, they'll just like show up to like abandoned lots or like houses where there's like shut-ins living in there, and they're like, hey, I see that your lawn is like nuts, can I like take care of it for free? And the only thing is you just let me like record on YouTube. Yeah, it's like I watched too many of those videos. But yeah, so this game sounds like right up my alley.
Yes, so it's good. It's very fun. It's very relaxing. It's a great kind of game to just like zone out to. It's very relaxing. So the premise is basically just that you are a power washer for hire, and you each level is a different job that you're hired for. So the first one is the tutorial is like you clean your van off, and then you go to like somebody's house, and your job is to clean off their house and their whole garden and everything. And then the next one is like you clean a motorcycle, and then the next big one is that I'm on right now is you clean an entire playground. Ooh. And it's like so it's like it's just the most disgustingly like caked on dirt, like everything's dark and gross, and then you power wash it and it's just sparkly and colorful and clean. And I love that. It's great. And there are different like you can upgrade your power washer, so you can like attach different nozzles to change like the width of the stream coming out. So like you can have a wider stream, but that makes it less powerful. So you have to like figure out what nozzle's right for this particular job. And like there's some dirt that you have to like, some stuff that's like super stuck on that you have to use like the more powerful, more concentrated nozzle, and then for other stuff it's like you can use the wide one to get rid of as much as possible as quickly as possible. But and then you can upgrade that. You can get better power washers, you can get extensions, you can like I think upgrade, like you can get skins for your power washer, like change the color and stuff.
How much is this game like Super Mario Sunshine?
It has a similar sort of like vibe to it reminds me of that one level in Super Mario Sunshine with the hotel where you have to clean up like the whole kind of plaza outside. It's kind of like that. It has similar cleaning up sort of vibes, definitely.
I'm getting that mixed with what is that one mini game on Mario Party where you like have like the buffer on the roof of the van? Remember what I'm talking about?
I don't remember that. I don't remember that one.
I think it's Mario Party 5. That's the one I have on GameCube. But yes. You just have like a little buffer, and you're gonna go back and forth until you get rid of all the green polish.
Oh, I do remember that. Yes, I do remember that one.
Yeah, see, I love it.
Mario Party. Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, it's super relaxing and satisfying, and there's actually some really like funny writing in it. Like, it's you wouldn't expect there to be a story to this, but like. You get little bits and pieces of story, little kind of like jokes and things from basically throughout the game. You'll get texts from your clients, like being like, "Hey, I've got this new job for you," or they'll just like make conversation about the place that you're cleaning or whatever. And there's just some nice little bits of like silly character stuff, and it's a nice like addition to this. Like there are a ton of different games, especially on PC. That are like something simulator. This sort of simulator genre has become super like popular and also kind of notorious for being very hit and miss. Like they can be like really well put together and like high quality simulation experiences, and then other times it's just like a cheap kind of like thrown together whatever game that they just put together because like, oh, that's something simulator, people would buy that, right? But this is an example of one that is done really, really well. It's super fun, and another cool thing about it is this game is published by Square Enix. Which, if you don't know, Square Enix is a game studio and publisher that they're known mostly for publishing like they're a Japanese company known for publishing like RPGs. So like the Final Fantasy series is a Square Enix series that they're very well known for that. Kingdom Hearts also. And they also own the rights to a bunch of other IPs, including Tomb Raider. So there are currently two pieces of free DLC for the game. One of them is a Final Fantasy VII DLC, where you get to go and like clean. You go to different locations from Final Fantasy VII and clean things. And it's super fun. Like you go to Tifa's bar, Seventh Heaven, and you get to like clean up that whole place. And Cloud's Buster Sword is there. You clean up Cloud's Buster Sword.
That's awesome.
And there's another one where you clean up like this. There's this giant kind of scorpion robot tank thing that you fight near the beginning of the game, and you like go and you show up and you clean that off.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun. And then the other thing, which I haven't played yet, is there's some free Tomb Raider DLC. So you get to go to Croft Manor, which is from where Lara Croft is from, and like clean up that place. So yeah, that's super cool. And then also they just released, I don't have this, but they just released some new paid DLC that is SpongeBob DLC. So you can go to Bikini Bottom and clean like all the different locations of Bikini Bottom and different things. And I saw in the trailer.
Wait, how does the power washer work underwater?
We don't question this, Sam. We don't.
I mean, they also have sinks in Bikini Bottom and campfires.
They have sinks. They have campfires. And, and paper and yeah. Anyway, in the trailer, there's a one of the things you clean in the SpongeBob DLC is the invisible boatmobile, and so as you clean it, it just disappears, which I thought was really funny and clever.
That is very funny.
But yeah, it's just a delightful, fun experience. And I've like I played a little bit on my PC and like streamed it to my friends in Discord, and we just kind of hung out and chatted while I did that, and it was a real sort of just chill hanging out experience, because it's also kind of like satisfying to watch somebody else play this too.
Yeah.
And then I also have been playing it some on my Steam Deck in the living room while watching Critical Role, because it's like, Critical Role is basically a podcast. It's like 4 hours an episode, and like so oftentimes what I'll do when watching Critical Role is I'll be like playing another game in the background that's like something that doesn't take a ton of my attention or brain power, that's not like super story focused or anything, and I'll like listen to Critical Role, and this has been great for that. Is just power washing. It's good. It's a good game. Recommended, definitely. I
love it. Is there a Keyblade attachment you can get for your power washer?
I wish. As far as I know, no. But I will let you know if I find out otherwise.
Soon.
Yeah. Come on, Square Enix.
That'll be the next one. Also, by the way, if you guys are hearing like loud like bangs or pops going on like in the background, I promise we're not getting shot at or anything. We're currently recording this on July 3rd in the evening. You are hearing fireworks in my neighborhood right now. In Kansas City, apparently it's legal to launch off as many. I don't think it is legal, but it happens anyway. But we've been hearing nonstop fireworks in our neighborhood since like mid last week. And it's been nuts how many fireworks we've been hearing. So it's fun, but it's not conducive to podcast recording exactly. So if you guys hear just loud like thumps or bangs or explosions in the background, I'm probably still fine. Probably.
As long as he doesn't go silent suddenly, he's probably fine.
Yeah. If you don't hear Jack react in any sort of way, I'm probably all right.
Sam! No! Oh God, the house is burning down. No!
Use their Hamzar.
I'm the captain of a gravy train. All right. Do we have any Star Wars news to talk about, Sam?
I don't think so. Ahsoka's coming out real soon, but that's kind of all. Yeah. There's no new stuff.
Just Ahsoka hype.
Just Ahsoka hype. I just want to talk to you about one Disney Plus thing, though.
Okay.
Secret Invasion. The first 2 episodes are out of Secret Invasion. I haven't watched any of it, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Is Marvel done? Like, what's going on?
They secretly invaded Disney Plus. They didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, like it looks like everyone's saying like it's like was supposed to be this big good thing, but like other than like the people on YouTube that I follow who like review every single thing that comes out the moment it comes out, like new rock stars or whatever, or like Screen Crush, like I've heard nothing about this show.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we talked about this a little bit, like in a previous episode. I think just the idea of sort of Marvel fatigue and kind of being done with the MCU a little bit. Like, I feel like there hasn't been like I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because I heard that was good, and that's I think still in theaters. So I'm hoping to see that at some point. But like beyond that, there's not a whole lot that I'm like excited for or looking forward to or anything that came out within the last couple of years that I was really like. I mean, No Way Home was the last thing that I really loved, and that's because I'm a Spider-Man fanboy.
Oh, same.
But yeah, it's just it feels very played out. It feels very like formulaic, and I feel like I mean it's always been formulaic, but I think what was propping up this series was the fact that there were so many like good, well cast, well written characters that we had grown attached to. So like Chris Hemsworth as Thor, and Iron Man, Captain America, and all these like there was a core set of characters that were all really good and important, and I think obviously Cap and Iron Man were at the center of that, and now they're both gone, and it's just like it doesn't feel without those really strong actors, those strong characters to kind of anchor it. It doesn't feel as compelling a thing. Plus, like I feel like what they're setting up with Kang the Conqueror being the next like big bad. It doesn't feel like they're not. I feel like they're not building it up as slowly as they did with Thanos, and it's not. It just doesn't. His introduction in Loki wasn't super interesting to me. He just kind of seemed like a silly weird guy. He wasn't like menacing or interesting to me.
Yeah. And then in Ant-Man, he like wasn't any better.
I never saw Quantumania.
Oh, you didn't miss anything. Like
that's what I heard.
Yeah, no, it was not a great movie, and neither was like Thor 4. Thor 4 was pretty lame.
Yeah, which is disappointing because Thor Ragnarok is such a great movie.
Thor Ragnarok is like the most rewatchable like silly Marvel movie. I think.
Definitely, yeah.
Like
agreed.
Winter Soldier, I think is the most rewatchable Marvel movie.
Yes,
but
also
Thor Ragnarok is the most rewatchable silly Marvel movie, and it's Sarah's favorite. And so that's the Marvel movie I watch the most, just because like anytime it's on TV, we'll watch it.
Piss off, Ghost.
Yeah, piss off, Ghost. Yeah, we quote the Korg's line from the end. If the foundations are good, we can rebuild this place. Oh, I guess the foundations weren't good. Yeah, yeah, we quote that all the time.
Korg is great.
Korg is the best. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think like, also just like, Endgame and No Way Home were kind of felt like the end, you know?
Like, they felt like, yeah. I mean, Endgame definitely felt like a conclusion.
And then No Way Home was kind of the epilogue kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just like,
definitely, I feel that.
We're done. This is it. It's over.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Guardians of the Galaxy has been they've been in the Avengers movies and stuff, but they feel enough like they're their own thing and kind of have their own like story to where I feel compelled to watch the third one just for the sake of those characters and not for the sake of this is part of a larger universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I
know Sarah and I are just gonna wait until Guardians 3 comes out on Disney Plus to watch it. Like once it's on Disney Plus, we'll watch it. But like we know it's good, but like I have avoided spoilers thus far, and I don't think I'm gonna see any spoilers anytime soon. Yeah. So like we feel safe just waiting for the Disney Plus release. It'll probably be like end of the summer, mid fall. It's kind of what I'm expecting because they usually start to release them like 3 months after they like a month after they're not in theaters anymore. Soon, It's like 3 months after release day.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
whenever Disney Plus subscriptions go down, they release it, and that's when this probably is going on.
Yeah, like even when, like so many of these Marvel things, even when they're like on Disney Plus, which is something that I have access to already, I'm still not like that compelled to watch it. Like, yeah, you know, even though it's there, I'm like I think like Ant-Man Quantumania is on there now, and I'm like, I don't know if that I want to spend my like. It used to be that I was invested enough in this universe and this overall story that I wanted to, you know, absorb all the things that it had going for it, and because it all felt like it was, you know, building on something, and it felt exciting that it was like expanding and building towards something. And now it just sort of feels like this sprawling, sort of disconnected thing that's like, I don't know, it doesn't feel as compelling to me anymore. Yeah, so it's a bummer, but
it is.
At least we're still getting other. I like the direction that superhero movies have started to go in outside of the MCU, in that we have more movies that are like standalone or mostly standalone, like interpretations of characters. So like the Spider-Verse movies, for example, are amazing and excellent, and they're you know on their own, from separate from the MCU, and they're animated, and it's a really beautiful, unique, cool take on these characters. The Batman that came out a couple years ago, I thought that was really, really good. With Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne Batman. I loved getting that sort of just a new, different take on Batman, and just I like. I think we talked about this before too, but just I like the idea that you know, comic books are our modern, you know, Greek myths. They're the things that they're told and retold over and over again by different people, and the fun of it is getting to see the different interpretations of these characters and these stories that we already know we love. Whereas like the MCU is like, here's one ongoing, you know, like one version of this universe, one version of these characters, and it's like that's cool for a while, but it's been like almost like 15 years or something now.
Iron Man came out in 2008.
Yeah, so 15 years. It's a long time to be sticking with one story across dozens of films and TV shows.
Yeah, literally basically half of my life has been the MCU.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yes.
Yeah. So I turned what, 15? I turned 16 in 08. But I was 15 when Iron Man came out.
It's interesting that, like, you know, the way that we're talking about about Marvel and this expanded MCU universe and how it's starting to get stale, and like on the other hand, we have this Star Wars podcast where we're talking about this giant expansive universe that's continuing to expand. And I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's just that we like Star Wars more, but I feel like I know at least lately we've been getting pretty consistently good Star Wars stuff. You know, there's just a lot to like. I think it also helps that you and I we're fans enough of Star Wars and of the universe, and we grew up with it to an extent that, like, you know, even if it's not great, we can still have fun with it and enjoy it, you know? Just
yeah, absolutely.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That's good. I love Star Wars.
Me too. Right. Okay, Sam, are you ready for our main segment?
That I am. Let me just pull up the old Wikipedia.
Thank you, Wikipedia, for sponsoring this episode and every episode.
And every episode. Yep.
Of unlimited content.
This episode is one of my favorites.
It's a great one. Which is astonishing because it's episode 1.
It's the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or as much as a pilot as like,
it got. Yeah. Other than the movie.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm doing the thingy. So the moral of this episode: great leaders inspire greatness in others.
Indeed.
All right. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, episode 1.
All right.
Season 1, really episode 1. Ambush. A galaxy divided by war. Peaceful worlds must choose sides or face the threat of invasion. Republic and Separatist armies vie for allegiance of neutral planets. Desperate to build a Republic supply base on the system of Toydaria, Jedi Master Yoda travels to his secret negotiations on a remote neutral moon.
Yeah, we're back on Toydaria.
We're back on Toydaria.
The Toydarians.
Yep.
The people who are not slave owners, typically.
Definitely
despite
not.
What the movies would have you believe.
Yes. I'm a Toydarian. My tricks don't work on me, only money. All right, so just before we get into this episode, I want to can I share a cute story about my daughter?
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
always.
So she watched this episode with me, and apparently she knows who Yoda is. Which I've not watched a lot of Star Wars with her, but she does spend a lot of time at my father-in-law's house watching Disney Junior, and I forgot that the Disney Junior has that new Star Wars show that Yoda is a very featured character in.
Young Jedi Adventures.
Young Jedi Adventures, yes. So she was sitting in my lap when we were watching, and Yoda came on screen, and she goes, Mass Yoda, Mass Yoda. And I'm like, I was like, are you saying Master Yoda? It was like, it was like literally every time Yoda came on screen, she was like, Mass Yoda, it was like, I thought she was saying Minnesota or Masota, because it sounded like
Minnesota.
Because it sounded like Masota is what is kind of how it kind of came out, but it's adorable. My daughter's the best.
That's amazing. So proud.
We love her. All right. Anyway, on to the summary. Great. The plot. Jedi Master Yoda is dispatched to the dried coral moon of Rasoga. I did think it looked like coral. That was weird. Yeah. Of Rugosa. Excuse me, not Rasoga. Rugosa. To convince King Katunko to allow the Galactic Republic to build a base in the Toydarian territory. As the Toydarian monarch King Katunko and his retinue await the arrival of their Jedi envoy, Asajj Ventress arrives and presents Katunko with a hologram of Count Dooku, who attempts to express the Jedi's supposed incapability to protect Toydaria in hopes of swaying the king to his cause. In orbit of the Rugosa moon, 2 Banking Clan frigates ambush Yoda's ship, forcing him to take an escape pod while his ship escapes the system. 3 clones, Lieutenants Thyre, Jack, and Riss, attempts to accompany him to the surface. Is that how we pronounce it? Thyre, Jack, and Riss? Because really,
I think so.
Because Yoda
it's either Riss or Reese.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Because I listened really good and hard while Yoda was talking, but it was Yoda in early Clone Wars, so it's very yeah. So it's very muffled. So it's kind of hard to tell. I thought I heard Jack was the only name I thought I heard. I was like, oh, interesting, but it was Jack.
Right.
It's Jack.
Yeah.
Yep. So here we go. So they escape and they get down to the planet's surface. Which there was a funny little droid moment in this episode, like right here, where like the droid the droids are trying to shoot at the escape pods, and they like miss all of them completely, and it's like it's my programming. Oops, was basically like.
There are some great battle droid moments in this episode.
Yeah, there are some great ones. And the super battle droids get some funny lines, which didn't even
we don't hear them talk very much.
No, so we got some super battle droid moments.
Yes.
Anyway, the Republic frigate leaves the system, a move that Asajj Ventress spins to the king as a sign of weakness. Her attempts at persuasion are interrupted, however, by a holographic call from Yoda, in which the Jedi Master offers his greetings. Ventress then suggests a challenge. If Yoda can escape her best troops, then Toydaria will be free to join the Republic. But if he should fail, and the droids prevail, Toydaria will join the Separatists. Agreeing to Ventress' proposal, Yoda and his troops march through the coral forests as a Separatist landing ship carrying a full battalion of droids arrives. Yoda and his men then face off against a large number of droids and several tanks. The tanks find it difficult to penetrate the dense coral forest, forcing the droid commander 224 to send his troops out on foot, which allows the clones to ambush them in small groups. Eventually, Thyre is wounded, and the group is forced to retreat. Yoda?
Right. Yeah, there's a couple things I want to talk about here.
Yeah.
First of all, the whole, like, Ventress is like, well, how about a challenge? If you can make it across here without, getting stopped by my troops, then you can join the Republic or whatever. And King Katunko's like, I did not invite Yoda here to be tested, and Yoda's immediately like, I accept. it's like
yes, you got it. You. Come on.
It's like, no problem.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. And
it was very
and then
funny.
Also the moment when they're like they're hiding behind the coral, and the battle droids are coming forward in their tanks, and the lead battle droid is like, stop, we can't make it through there. And then one of them is like, no, we can fit, and goes forward and just immediately crashes. It's
very good.
Another great battle droid moment. He's like, listen to me. Listen to my orders.
Yeah.
What the heck, man? Anyway.
Yeah, there's also a moment where it takes 224 like 6 times to get them to like listen to him.
that goes on shockingly long. He's like yelling it. He yells it like
stop,
6 times.
Stop. No, really, stop. Why are you doing? Stop. Stop.
It's like, what the heck is wrong with these guys? Are they just deaf? What's happening here?
And mind you, these are Ventress's best troops.
Yeah. It's like, it's astonishing that, like, I mean, it would be one thing if this scene was like, if he said it like 3 times, or like said it once and then said it again, and it was like, we didn't hear you the first time, or we didn't think we had to stop. But like, he says it like 6 times. I'm like, what is the reason behind them not stopping? It's just, I love it. I love their programming.
Oops, we're droids. Sorry, my programming.
I guess we're just stupid today.
I guess we're programmed to be comically dumb.
It's the best kind of robot.
Mm-hmm.
The comically dumb one.
Indeed. All right. So Yoda and the clones make their way through to a dried gulch lined with caves to rest and recover. Inside a cave, the clones are less than enthusiastic about their current situation, as they find themselves outnumbered and outgunned. To raise spirits, Yoda gives his troopers a small lesson about them being individuals despite their origin as clones, and that it is their mind which makes them strong, not their numbers or weapons. This is the scene that makes this one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, it's a great, like, I think definitely early on in season 1, season 2, there are a few episodes where there's a focus on like a Jedi specifically being like, you matter more than you were led to believe, like, to the clones. Like, there's another one with later on with Plo Koon going to rescue some clones who are stranded in space.
Yeah, that's the next one we're gonna watch.
Oh wow! Okay, cool. Well, spoilers, but
yeah,
but yeah,
the Malevolence arc is which is the one that Andy wanted to be a part of.
Cool. Yeah, another excellent one. But it's just about like the fact that the Jedi treat the clones as more than disposable, cannon fodder. That they're like, that they have souls and that they have individuality that is worth celebrating and embracing. And it's just a nice little. We get so much cool like. I feel like we see every side of Yoda in this episode. We see the like kind of sly, cunning, like little like I accept your challenge,
which is my favorite part.
Yeah, we see like wise Yoda giving advice,
like sage Yoda,
sage Yoda, and then later on we get Ninja Yoda just hopping around and going ham with a lightsaber,
which felt like it felt like 2D Clone Wars, kind of like that one. I think I sent it to you a while back, but it was that one scene of Mace Windu taking out like 10,000 battle droids like on his own. Yeah. It felt like that, which was a lot of fun.
That scene is great, and the other thing I like about that scene is Yoda just casually like he cuts up some of their weapons that are broken and puts them together to form a crutch for Thyre, who's wounded, so he can walk around. I was like, oh, that's cool.
It was really cool.
Nice.
At first, it was like, what the heck is he doing? Like, why? What are you doing? And like the clones don't say anything; they kind of just like watch and like, I don't know, this is Jedi. They're weird. Yeah,
that is kind of their attitude towards the Jedi. It's like, you can't understand a Jedi master. They're they're whatever. They're mysterious. They've got their own.
Yeah,
can't anticipate what they're gonna do.
No. Although I just want to highlight like one thing that like Yoda said that was kind of like a cool insight into the Force, and just like I don't know, just like anthropology in the Star Wars universe. Like he said, every single individual looks different, looks unique in the Force. Just this kind of like I don't know if like people have like a Force like fingerprint or something like that. Like you can tell, like Yoda can tell in the Force who like each individual clone is without looking at, like, he doesn't need them to take off their helmets. He can tell without like any distinguishing markings who is who just based on like their energy in the Force, like just like the vibes of the Force. Yeah.
Force vibes.
So I just thought that was really cool. Like, I don't know, especially as somebody who like my undergrad is in theology, right? Like I'm in ministry and just like just kind of like the individuality of the person and like the dignity of the human person is a big thing in like my religion, and like it's just cool that it's kind of like in a similar kind of thing in Star Wars of just like the dignity of each individual, even if they are like clones just built and bred for war, they all have this individual unique dignity that makes them unrepeatable and wonderful and worthy of like Yoda acknowledging like as like interesting, like I see you as an individual. I see you as an unrepeatable person, not just like CT number, right? Like like you are important, and I love that about this part of Star Wars.
Definitely, I love the it's really like kind of nice and heartwarming and cool to just see like to see like a cool science fiction show, like science fiction fantasy, whatever, embracing the idea of spirituality and individuality and the importance of that. It's cool.
Yeah, because you don't often get it in like a sci-fi shoot 'em up kind of thing like the Clone Wars. Like the only other like sci-fi thing I can think of that like gets kind of close to something like this. I mean, there's a couple episodes in like the Next Generation, like Star Trek Next Generation, that's like,
what I was thinking.
They're like they have like a very like spiritual kind of like I don't know, energy to them.
Yeah. Like I think of ones where they're like Data focused episodes when they're talking about like the humanity of Data as a unique living being and his worth. Yeah.
I love it.
So
I like it a lot.
Excellent.
All right, moving on. So, towards the end of the episode, as the droid column approaches, Master Yoda decides to face them alone, meditating, seemingly unready for combat, ordering his clone troopers to stay out of sight until their help is truly needed. The droids report the current situation to Ventress, who in turn orders them to open fire. Which at this point, it's not just like she says open fire, she's like freaked out, like, he's got something up his sleeve, shoot now. Now.
They're like, the battle droids call in and like, Ventress, we found the Jedi Master, and they're like, she's like, okay, where is he? What are you doing? And they're like, he's just sitting there. And she's like, oh no.
She's like, oh crap, go.
Shoot him now.
No, kill him now.
Shoot him now. This is not good. He's got something up his sleeve.
Just blown to pieces now.
They're like, what? He's just sitting there. Ah!
Which, it was very reminiscent of, was it Last Jedi when Luke versus Kylo Ren on like the big old walkers on that like red planet?
Yeah.
It had similar vibes to that. It was like, more,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That was same energy.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yep. All right. So the droids report the current situation to Ventress, who in turn orders them to open fire. Yoda ends up cutting the whole battalion to pieces, and angered, Ventress sends out 10 droidicas to deal with the Jedi Master. Just before the droidicas can finish the Jedi Master, Thyre launches their last rocket at an overhanging cliff, sending an avalanche of rock crashing down on the droidica reinforcements, which this is a move that Yoda uses earlier in the episode to take out a tank. He basically he sends a giant thing of coral down onto one of the droid tanks, and it blows up. So it's just like kind of like they learned from Yoda, like not just like their dignity, but they also learned like a cool tactic to use in battle.
Strategy.
Yeah,
definitely.
So they do that. So then, Katunko,
I love this.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I love that. I love the scene with Yoda taking out of the battle droids. I mean, we talked about it a little bit already, but like again, we get every side of Yoda. We get wise Yoda, we get silly Yoda, we get badass doing flips and going ham on the droids Yoda. Like he it's such a cool fight sequence. Like the animation's great, and the way it's choreographed and shot is very clear and well like established. He like jumps from droid to droid, like chopping their heads off, and then like he jumps on the head of one and like kind of like swings in a direction so that the droids end up shooting each other. And then he like jumps onto the barrel of the cannon of one of the tanks and does the same thing, so that one of the tanks blows up the other one. And then earlier there's another bit where there's some super battle droids that are coming after them, and Yoda uses the Force to like pick one up and use it to shoot the other ones. And it's like the super battle droid's like, wait, I'm malfunctioning. Something's happening.
Don't shoot Jedi dogs. My favorite part of this like battle sequence is Yoda is like running around underneath these, because the tanks themselves, they hover above the ground at roughly Yoda's height. So he just like walks underneath them, lightsaber, does a little circle thing, and goes on like up through the bottom of the tank, and then just like takes out all the droids from the inside and then throws them out.
There's that great shot of like he goes up inside, and then you don't see Yoda because he's inside and you're seeing from the outside, but like you see a couple of battle droids like run out the back of the tank, and they're like, run, but then they like are caught by the Force and are like whisked back in really hard, and then like their parts blow out like they were shredded. With a flash of green light.
I love this that scene of just like you can't see Yoda, but you can see all the damage inflicting from the inside of this thing. And like there's one point where like one of the droids tries to go out like the gunner hole at the top, and then he's like he like screams and gets dragged down like back into it, and it's just like this is like, if this weren't a kids show, this would be scary.
If these were people,
this would be terrifying.
Yoda's scary, man.
Yoda is it's nuts. This is like it was so much fun.
I just got promoted.
Anyway, to finish it off, Katunko is impressed by the display and opts to have Toydaria join the Republic. Furious about the outcome, Dooku orders Ventress to kill the king. Ventress knocks the king's Toydarian guards unconscious and prepares to deal the killing blow. Master Yoda arrives just in time, stopping Ventress mid-swing. he like uses the Force to like stop both of her lightsabers like in their tracks, which is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then rather than surrender, Ventress quickly triggers an avalanche with a pre-planted explosive charges, using it as a distraction to escape in her solar sailor, which is the space
The Dooku ship.
This Dooku ship, yeah, that looks like it's from Treasure Planet. Anyway,
He does. It totally does.
Yeah, King Katuko gladly accepts Yoda's offer to join the Republic, and the Republic gunships come to retrieve the group. The end.
Yay!
Yay! We did it.
Yeah. There's one sort of like brief, funny moment near the end where, after Ventress leaves, and Yoda's like, "So, do you want to join the Republic? Do we have a deal?" And King Katuko like takes out a sword, and for a second you're like, "Wait, what's happening here?" And then he's like, "Yes, we'll join you," and then hands him the sword. It's like, okay, you're being nice.
Yeah,
I thought like they're leading you to think that like for a second like, oh, maybe there's another twist happening. Maybe he's actually a bad guy.
Yeah,
but no,
he's the Toydarian.
King Katuko seems like a cool guy.
He does.
I'm down with him.
Yeah, this is a good episode.
All right,
this is a good episode.
Yeah, agreed. Just a great little like, microcosm of what makes the Clone Wars great.
Yeah,
we get clones doing cool stuff and learning from the Jedi. We get one of the coolest Jedi doing all the cool Jedi things.
Oh yeah,
being wise, being actiony, and it's structured in a way that's really compelling because it's like it's a challenge and they're moving from point A to point B, so it's easy to follow. Like, what are the stakes here and where are they? And it's just a great little episode. Also, I want to say that like it was interesting to me like comparing the animation in this episode to the animation in the Clone Wars movie. I felt like the animation in this was like significantly improved.
It was,
at least like I agree. It felt like, especially the character movements, like just like looking at like Ventress even in this compared to Ventress in the movie. Like the movie definitely feels more like a pilot. More like
the movie
it's a little more stiff.
The movie gave VeggieTales vibes. And this was just like, oh, it's just like an early CG TV show. It was more like this is more like Jimmy Neutron, right?
I would say a little bit cooler than Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, I know, but like in terms of quality, like animation quality, Jimmy Neutron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brain Blast.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes.
Can you hear those fireworks?
I cannot. Oh. But then again, I'm hearing you through Discord, which like has a filter built in, so it's possible that it'll show up on your recording. So who knows?
Because I get the little green box around my little face every time a firework goes off. Whenever a lot of them go off, I just hear boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, I think my next door neighbor's launching fireworks. Like it's like that close. So hopefully it's filtering it out, but we'll see.
Well,
we'll figure it out when this gets published.
Yeah. There's a lot of cities that are like considering basically replacing fireworks with like drone shows or laser light shows. Yeah. Because they're A, less dangerous, and B, less loud and like distressing for animals and people with PTSD. People with PTSD or just people who are startled by or stressed out by loud sudden noises. Like, I like fireworks as much as the next guy, but like, I would be fine if we moved to laser shows or drone shows. Like, have you seen some of those like YouTube videos of drones doing cool stuff? Yeah,
so this one looks like a big old red Chinese dragon over a city, and it looks nuts. And then someone like tweeted out, like they like quote tweeted that video. It's like, imagine doing this over like some tribe that's had never had contact with the outside world, and just like, oh man.
Well, we just. Yeah, talk about violating the Prime Directive.
Yeah, like that's like the scene from the first Star Trek, like the 2009 Star Trek movie, like where they like the Enterprise just shows up and then they start worshiping the Enterprise.
It's like, whoops. We just changed their culture forever.
Yeah, oops.
Cool.
Sorry. So similar thing.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's see. Did you notice any Wilhelm screams? I don't think there were any. Okay. So, no Wilhelm screams, we don't think. What about main character kill count? We didn't get any kills this episode.
No, droids don't count.
Droids, yeah. Droids aren't people. Like, I mean, man, this is a whole other... We could have a whole episode about droids and the way that Star Wars kind of treats droids and the fact that, like,
and like how it's changed over the years of how Star Wars treats droids.
Yeah, it depends. Like sometimes they're treated like people, or like valued members of society, and other times they're treated like slaves, and other times they're treated like pets. I feel like most frequently it's like you know, when you think about like how Anakin cares for R2, it's like
it's somewhere between
it's kind of like the
friend.
way it's how you like care for like a dog that you're really fond of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know,
yeah, it's like one step below Chewbacca, but like not really, you know. Yeah. But yeah, like, yeah, because there are, I want to say in the original series, like, other than just like R2 and C-3PO are really the only droids we see in all of the original movies, other than like droid bartenders and things.
Yeah. They're the only like
mouse
droids.
Yeah. And
well, I guess C-3PO is the only speaking droid.
C-3PO is
but yeah,
C-3PO and the bartender in Mos Eisley.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, that's the only. So we don't really get any insight into that, and then like sometimes they're just treated as like, yeah, you're right, like property or objects or whatever. But then like
Solo decided.
Yeah, Solo decided to sexualize droids. Right?
Oh well.
Lando did.
That's not where I was going, but I guess
to sexualize droids.
I guess it. Yeah. Well, that's Lando for you.
Yeah.
Lando's like Riker in that you know, sort of, you know, anything that moves he'll.
Oh yeah, I think canonically Lando is pansexual.
Yeah. I think he is.
Yeah,
which is cool. But yeah, like I was gonna say, like the fact that Solo decided to do this, like talk about, like the droid in that movie who ends up like becoming the Millennium Falcon. I don't remember her name, but like,
oh yeah, it was Phoebe Waller-Bridge, wasn't it?
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge's droid character.
Yeah. I forgot that she became the Falcon. I forgot that completely.
Yeah. But she has like a riot. She leads a riot of like droid liberation. She's like, free droids, and it's like it's almost like brings up some weird questions of like, okay, so like I feel like talking about droids is one of those things that like Star Wars just sort of avoids talking about, because we know if we thought about it too much, it would be like, oh, this is kind of messed up. And so, but then Solo decides to just like directly talk about it, so it's just kind of like, huh, this is kind of weird.
Yeah. And Mando season 3 had an episode about it too, the Jack Black and Lizzo episode, where they go into the droid bar, and the droids refer to themselves as droids, and they refer to non-droids as organics, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just like they see it as like an either or, like a binary kind of thing. But like in terms of equals, whereas everyone else, like all the organics, treat droids like as like, oh, you're just a droid. Like I might be really fond of this droid, or like I might try not to be a butthole to droids, but like
but clearly like lower class.
Yeah,
like
it's like, oh, these are second class citizens. Like that's where Star Wars is kind of trying to like hint at, like these are like second class citizens that are just kind of like around.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a much larger conversation to be had about that, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it when we get into more like droid centric episodes, or like we get to Solo or whatever. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway. More Star Wars is better Star Wars, Sam, but how does this episode specifically make the rest of Star Wars better?
I definitely think Yoda's little monologue in the cave, like where he says
about
like
individuality.
Yeah, about the individuality of the clones and how like everyone is unique in the Force. Like it just gives like a beautiful kind of Force anthropology kind of thing, and I love it. And that's also like the individuality of the clones is the theme of the Clone Wars. Beyond just like beyond just like filling plot holes between episodes 2 and 3 and fleshing out the story, like that's the point of the Clone Wars is the.
Yeah, I feel like it's the individuality of the clones, and also like the kind of larger theme is about systemic failures of organizations that are supposed to protect us, not protecting us. You know. Yeah,
but that we don't get that in this episode.
Yeah, no. This is a clone episode, which is always nice to get the clones are people too episode. It's always fun to get to know more clones, and just it's nice. It's heartwarming
for sure.
Right. MVP this episode, it's got to be Yoda, right?
For sure. There's not really another option.
Yeah, I mean the clones did great, but they weren't the star here. This was clearly Yoda's.
This is Yoda's
show.
Yeah, Mass Yoda.
Mass Yoda. Thank you, Mass Yoda. Thank you, Minnesota.
Thank you, Minnesota.
Well, all right.
It's good.
Yeah, this is a good episode. I enjoyed it a lot. And that was our episode.
That was our episode.
Yeah, join us next time, everyone, when we will be talking about 3 episodes. For the first time, we're actually watching a Clone Wars arc all in one episode.
Buckle up, gang.
Yeah, so we will be watching the Malevolence arc, which is Clone Wars Season 1, Episode 2, 3, and 4. They're called Rising Malevolence, Shadow of Malevolence, and Destroy Malevolence. And this is a good set of episodes. And we may or may not have a guest for you next time, so
here's hoping.
Tune in to find out.
Yeah. Yep, but we definitely get Plo Koon next episode. So you know it's going to be good.
Which, yes. Love Plo.
We love Plo.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Plo's like, I feel like there's a set of like characters who are like fan favorite characters among people who watch like the Clone Wars and Rebels and kind of the expanded universe stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, there's Plo, there's Rex, obviously, there's Ahsoka, but although Ahsoka's kind of gone beyond that at this point a little bit.
There's Chopper.
There's Chopper. There's I can't remember his name. Everybody's favorite pirate.
Oh, Hondo Ohnaka.
Hondo Ohnaka. Everybody loves Hondo. Yeah. Excellent, always. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we get a Plo episode next time. A Plo episode and a good clone episode, and also Grievous is in it, I think. So.
General Kenobi.
Indeed.
Yep. All right, Jack. Closing thoughts, other than get ready for 3 episodes next week.
Go watch, or rather, go listen to our cousin's podcast.
Yeah.
Go listen to What Makes It Great.
What does make it great, Jack?
I don't know. You'll have to tune in to find out, Sam. Go listen to it. Go do it.
I think I might.
I should listen to that. I've known about this podcast for years and I've never actually tuned in to listen to it. Because I don't listen to a lot of podcasts these days because I don't drive a lot. Because everything that I do in my life, like 95% of it is within a 2-mile radius of where I live.
Yeah, because your office is like across the highway from your apartment.
Yes,
right?
I live like across the highway from where I work, and then my therapist's office is like next door to where I live, and then like there's an HEB like 3 minutes away, and then my like my pharmacy is 3 minutes away, and yeah,
it's living the life, dude.
It's nice. I've got a good little location. It's on the highway, which has its downsides, but on the upside, everything's fast to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So yeah, go watch What Makes. Well, I keep saying watch. Go listen to What Makes It Great.
And maybe watch the movies they talk about too.
Yeah, and watch the movies they talk about. I'm looking forward to getting into that and setting aside some time to actually listen to that because I would love to. It sounds like a cool premise, of course. I love film and I love those guys.
Yep. Yeah,
Sarah and I, we kind of grew up alongside Michael and Andy.
We grew up like a block away from Michael and Andy.
Yeah, for a while when we were young. Yeah, we lived only a couple blocks away from each other. So
yeah. So yeah, it'll be fun.
All right.
Okey-dokey.
Thanks everybody for joining us, and we will talk to you next time. Enjoy your Star Wars and have a good week, and may the Force be with you.
Always.
And such.
May the Force be with you. Always.
And with your spirit.
Aww.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Bye. Bye, everybody.
All right, cut the chatter.
All right, cut the chatter. Roger, Roger.